What is up, my ninjas? Shinobi here, and today I have a brand new series for you on my channel that I've been wanting to do for a while now, and that is called Greater Rift Breakdown. Now, essentially what this is I'm going to go through a Greater Rift footage, and I'm going to kind of talk about the experience going through it. Some things that for instance, it could be a clip of mine or it could be a clip of yours. You guys can submit your own clips as well. They can be successful or unsuccessful. It doesn't matter. This is a learning process not only for you but also for me. You go back and you look at this stuff and you kind of learn a little bit more. Even if you got a successful run, you could have been like, wow, I could have shaved off 1 or 2 minutes there or something like that if I had just kind of paid more attention to the map. Because when you're in the heat of the moment, your heart's pumping, when you're like, oh no, I might fail, I might succeed or something like that, and then you forget, I didn't even notice that pylon over there, I didn't even notice that really good density over there, these monster types that are really good, or I didn't stay in this map long enough because I didn't know how good of a map it really was, and things like that. So there's a whole bunch of stuff that goes into Greater Rifts. A lot of it is RNG, don't get me wrong, but there's a lot of things that you can learn yourself, and hopefully you will learn throughout this series, and I'll also learn some things myself going back through and looking at some footage. Now, I've always said for a long time, whether you're playing, doesn't matter what game you're playing, League of Legends, Hearthstone, Diablo 3, if you're doing anything that you want to get better at, it's a really good idea to record your own footage. And I think that streamers do have a little bit of an advantage in that area because we record our own footage, we stream stuff, or we make things for YouTube, and we go back and take a look and be like, wow, I messed up there. Okay, next time I'm not going to do that or something like that. I think it's definitely a good idea for you guys to do that, and I hope you guys enjoy this series here. Like I said, it can be successful or unsuccessful attempts, and you're going to do it at the hashtag #GRBreakdown. That's all you got to do. You send it through there, put a link in the YouTube link or something like that. I'll take a look at the footage. If I think it's something that I want to showcase in here, then I will. You can also put your battle tag so I can go over and look at your gear and everything in the episode. So it's a way for me to maybe help you guys one by one, but then you guys watching it is also going to be a learning experience in itself, right? So I think it's a pretty cool idea, and I'm looking forward to getting through with the series and everything. One thing I want to make very clear, now most of these videos are not going to start as long as this right here because I'm explaining the whole series to you. So in the next episode, we're just going to jump right into it, essentially. These attempts here are successful or unsuccessful. We don't know, and I'm not going to tell you until the end. You're going to have to see for yourself. That way you can kind of think, okay, oh, he got that map, okay, I think he might get it, or, and you can kind of judge for yourself, and it's a learning process in that as well. So if I spoil something for you, it's not really going to teach you anything. You'll be like, oh yeah, I totally got this one, guys. You're going to be like, okay, well, I don't have to really think too much. I don't have to learn the information as much because I'm just going to look at what he's doing right instead of what he's doing wrong. You want to look at everything. I'm not perfect. You're not perfect. We make mistakes. So, and even if you have a really good run, like I said before, you could shave off maybe 30 seconds, a minute, 2 minutes, and that's a big deal, especially when you get up to the higher Greater Rifts. That can equal an extra tier for you, or extra 2 or 3 tiers at that. So like I said, today we got some footage for me here, and this is my Witch Doctor. I'm not going to do a full guide on this just yet. I'll put a separate video out for that. But this is the gear that I used exactly for this footage that you're about to see, that we go through step by step. So doing the Helltooth, the 6-piece Helltooth with the Belt of Transcendence, the Jerem's Bracers, the Hellfire Amulet with Pierce the Veil on there, Focus and Restraint. Got the Sunwhelm Diviner, which is pretty decent, could be a lot better. And you can see my Paragon is only 744, not really that high. There's a lot of people that are much higher, haven't been spending much time on that. The gems that I'm using in this clip you're going to see are Bane of the Trapped and Bane of the Stricken, and I wasn't actually using Esoteric Alteration. I thought, okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to test out the Gizzard. So I thought, some people, they get rid of Bane of the Stricken and they put on the Gizzard, right? But you lose a lot of damage, especially on the higher tiers. You're going to lose a lot of time. The Greater Rift fight, the Rift Guardian fight, is going to take quite a while. So I thought, what if I just got rid of the esoteric alteration and just got the gizzard and tried that out instead? Would that be better? Because you get that life regen, you get that little bit of a shield. It could be really good because, you know, when you're using items like this in your cube, like the kitty thing, the first damage you take is going to be reduced by a lot anyways, so this will just heal you back up quickly, and if you have enough burst, then maybe, you know, you don't stay in the fight long enough to take more damage. So maybe it could be a good strategy. So I was just testing this, and then I stepped into the Greater Rift that I'm about to show you, and I was like, oh shit, I was just testing this out, and I'm on an awesome map with good mob types and everything like that. So I guess we're going to have to see, you know, what happens in the end, but ideally, I normally would go with the esoteric alteration, but in this situation, I was using the gizzard, and now we'll go ahead and take a look at the footage and kind of break it down bit by bit. Alright guys, so here we are stepping into the Greater Rift. See my character going in, and I noticed that I get Silver Spire level. If you get the big level, it's freaking awesome. It's, most people would say, the best map that you can get in the Greater Rifts. So when I saw this, I was like, oh shit, because I'm using the gizzard right now, and I'm like, I just ruined an opportunity. This could be my clear. This could be it right here, and I'm just testing out the gizzard. Oh no, what's going to happen? So I end up seeing the mob types here, and I'm like, okay, if I can just avoid some elites, I won't take a lot of, you know, magic damage. I won't take a lot of different spell damage here, and you can see that I drop down really quickly, proccing my spirit vessel very fast, and I'm thinking, oh my god, this is, at this point, I'm like, this is a fail. You know, I got the map, I got good mob types here, I just died. You know, I'm thinking this is over. You know, this one's done for. You know, how am I going to be able to get through this? I'm taking so much damage right now. I got to just focus on the trash mobs themselves and try to stay away from the elites and champ packs as much as possible. I'm thinking maybe I'll get a conduit up here or something. When you go a little bit south here, usually this is a good spot for a conduit to spawn. So I am dying a few times here, and a big part of this is because I'm getting just one-shotted by this elite and his, I think he was using like a jailer or something like that on me and just one-shotting me. I'm not too sure at this point, so I figured, okay, I need to, there's 3 elite packs already. I just got to get out of this area. We didn't get a conduit spawn over there, which would have been great. I would be able to, you know, essentially go in and, you know, just blow up everything in there. Conduit does a massive amount of damage, as many of you know. But, you know, let's talk a little bit about the mob types here. As I keep running past a bunch of elites, I'm just trying to get to a bunch of trash mobs. That's it, because you can get a lot of density on a map like this. And the mob types that I have are actually pretty good. You have the Unholy Thralls, you have the Phase Beasts, you have the Skeletons. Now, not all the skeletons are good. Some of them are good, some of them are bad. In particular, I can't remember the ones that are the best ones. I think the Ravenous Dead are pretty decent. The ones that spawn from that guy that's shooting the arcane balls right now, the ones that spawn from him don't give you very much progression or even any at all. I'm not 100% sure, but you know, it's just really, you know, I'm thinking, okay, I want to see what kind of time I can make on this trash right here. Is this worth it, you know, to just literally focus on the trash and see if I can make something happen here? So that's why I'm sitting in this area right now, just, you know, completely melting things. And you see that I'm actually catching up in time now. I was behind and I'm catching up. That blue pack did catch up to me and started putting Frozen down, so I thought, okay, that's going to kill me in a matter of time. I got to get out of here. I just got to get to more trash, and hopefully that won't follow me. And if it does follow me, maybe I'll run into a conduit or something. I can blow it up or something. That'd be great. But you can see that I'm actually taking down things pretty quickly here. Like I said, the mob types are pretty good. Usually on this map, if you could get these mob types with maybe like the exploder guys, the grotesque guys, the big, you know, round fat guys that explode, that's really good. Now the little spectral guys, the little blue guys, they don't give you very much progression, but the, like I said, the Phase Beast, the Unholy Thralls are pretty good. We do have some winged assassins in there and some skeletons. And well, no, I don't know. I don't think it's winged assassins. I think it's those leaper guys that throw the little balls at you. That's actually what's doing most of the damage to me right now. Is I'm getting pegged by those little, they're shooting me from the outside with their little crossbows with the spectral guys. Those guys are doing some damage to me, and then also the little guys that are throwing the little balls at me, and then they leap on top of you. Those guys are doing a lot of damage to me. So I figured, okay, if I can kind of avoid those guys, then I'll be good here. Now you can see I come up on my first pylon and it's Conduit. So I pause the game and I'm like, oh shit, what do I do? What do I do? Do I go back to those elites that are back there? But then if you do that and you go back to those elites that are at the back there, what's going to happen is you're going to have to run back, wasting time, because you're not going to be killing anything coming back. You're going to kill everything going backwards, but you're not going to kill anything going back. It can be worth it if there's a lot of, stuff for you to kill. So I thought, you know what, I'm just going to go YOLO. I'm just going to go Conduit. I'm just going to run up ahead. I'm on the good map. I know it's the big map at this point because it's bigger than usual. So I know it's the big one. And I did make a mistake right here that I caught when I went back and looked at this footage just briefly, and that is that blue pack, I didn't actually pull that other one in with me with that Conduit. It was up on the right side of that little platform there, and I didn't see it at the time, because you're thinking, Conduit, I just want to kill anything that I can. I want to get as much use out of this Conduit as possible, and that's very important. But I did get quite a bit ahead right here, and I'm thinking, okay, now all I have to do is I just need to keep up this momentum. I just need to keep it up. I could get a power pylon later on. Channeling is decent for this. I am doing the acid cloud here with this build. So I thought, I want to take what I can get. I don't know how long this map's going to last for, so I need to just kill what I can if it's a decent density. Obviously, you want to skip things that are going to be like, maybe 5 or 10 mobs or something like that, but some density like this is actually pretty good. Now, some people asked me before, they said that the playing this type of spec, the Acid Cloud spec, is not something you see people normally do because it's very laggy for the game. Now, Blizzard did make some changes recently, but if you do use your area damage, you're going to still run into some really bad lag. And I will get some lag spikes from time to time, so I try not to pull too big of groups, but I do try to pull a decent amount. Like, for instance, something like this right here, I think is around the perfect area, because it's not too much that it's going to lag your game, but it's good enough to get ahead in progression. And you can see that I am maintaining my progression lead and even increasing it a little bit. So it is actually working right here. But like I said before about missing that blue pack back there with the Conduit, that could shave off 30-40 seconds on a successful clear or something like that, or an unsuccessful one. It could be the difference between doing it in time and not doing it in time. So that's definitely something that I noticed going back and looking, that you should be a little bit more open to the map, sometimes even exploring the map a little bit and pulling some monsters towards the Conduit and then popping the Conduit. There's definitely different ways you can do it. I went a little YOLO mode with it. It ended up paying off. Not as good as it could have, but in the end, I'm pretty far ahead right now, so I'm feeling pretty good. Now, the map type, the monster type actually starts changing a little bit. You're seeing that I'm getting the zombies here a little bit more often, and I'm now getting the grotesque guys, the big exploder guys. Grotesques are really good. They give you about 0.5% progression. They're one of the best mob types, if not the best, if you get a really big density of them in the game for you right now, because Blizzard did make some changes not too long ago to some things. So what I'm thinking at this point is, okay, this map just needs to keep going the way it is, and this is no doubt a clear. This is why I'm spending a little bit more time on stuff like this right here instead of running ahead looking for the really big juicy density, and that's why it's a big reason why I'm not running ahead. So I run up here and I'm like, okay, give me more, and I look over. And, oh, it's the end of the map. Oh, this is what you don't want to see when you're doing Silver Spire, because the next map could be garbage. Now, I paused the game right here because I'm like, okay, this is one of the best maps as well, if you get the right type. This is the Vault of Assassin type map, if you remember from back in the day, like in the Act 2 area. This map can be really good. Now, I don't get the greatest mob types. I do get a shield pylon, which is actually helpful because for a number of reasons. Now, these oppressors here, the big devil guys that like have a hammer and they breathe on you. Well, that breath that they do on you does a lot of damage. Remember, I'm using the gizzard. I'm not using the esoteric alteration. So, I could take so much damage from these guys. Could just global me if they wanted to, if they were able to. So I had to play a little bit more safe. Getting the shield pylon, I think, actually was very helpful, because all I'm trying to do at this point is I'm just trying to get to the Rift Guardian. I think, I'm pretty sure that I have enough time for the Rift Guardian at this point. Even if I don't get a power pylon, I think that I probably have enough time at this point. But, if I could die multiple times to something like this, these type of mob types. So I'm just going through and I'm just grabbing what I can. I find a blue pack here that does have Thunderstorm. That's just going to one-shot me, so I need to avoid that at all costs. Now, these succubus here shooting out these little balls, now they do a lot of damage to me. The first one they hit me with is not going to be that bad, but you saw the next one that came in procced me. So, because I am using that, kitty offhand in my cube, I do have a little bit of an advantage to get some burst damage in. I have a little bit of a window to do some damage. So I'm like, okay, I just got to find, a good area, good mobs. Now, right here, I was pretty confident that I'd be fine, but I just got just globaled pretty much. Like I said, you can take a lot of damage from these oppressors when you don't use the esoteric alteration. And even if you do, they still do a lot of damage on something like a 66. So definitely taking a lot of damage. Plus, I lost all my fetishes here. So what I'm trying to do is just try to get my fetishes back up, play a little bit more safe, just kind of trying to dodge things left and right. I proc again. As I'm saying, guys, I'm taking a lot of damage right now. At this point, I'm feeling like this might be a fail because, if I die a few more times, that's pretty much it for me. And I don't even know if I'm going to get any more pylons. I don't know if I'll get a power pylon. If I get a power pylon at this point with this much time, if I spawn the Rift Guardian right now, that's a clear for sure. I know that's a clear because I know how long it takes to take down the Rift Guardian. But, you don't know if you're going to get any more pylons or anything like that. So all I'm doing here is I'm just trying to stay kind of on the lower end and trying to avoid some of these balls that are coming towards me right now. I think this was a good idea because it gave me some time to build my fetishes back up. And I did, kind of maintain the time. You just want to be killing stuff and killing stuff and killing stuff. All I'm trying to do this time, like I said, is just get the Rift Guardian up. And the oppressors are okay for progression. I don't think they're really that great. I think they give 0.43% progression, so they're not as good as the grotesques. And they do, they're a lot more difficult to deal with, for sure, but they're not horrible. There's definitely things that are much worse than them in the game, but they do a lot of damage, and that's the main thing right now. I'm just trying to avoid taking a lot of damage. So unfortunately, I pick up a speed pylon, and I'm thinking, okay, at this point, I'm not going to get any more pylons. That's my final pylon. I'm thinking to myself, do I use this to run to the next map to try and get, better mob types that aren't going to just global me, or do I, stay and fight and just try to get the Rift Guardian up? I think the smartest move in this situation is just try to get the Rift Guardian up, because you could run for a while trying to find the next level, waste a bunch of time, get to the next level, and it could be bad. So I'm thinking, okay, the oppressors are not too bad for progression, so I'm just going to take what I got right now and just go with that. So now I take a look at the time and I see they got about 3 minutes left, I think it was, and I'm like, oh boy, this is getting close, because I'm thinking, 66. I haven't completed a 66 with the Witch Doctor yet, so I'm thinking, what's going to happen? Am I going to be able to do this? This right here, this is enough density for me to bring up the Rift Guardian right now, but there's a lot of damage coming in, and I'm probably about to die, I think, pretty soon here. I'm just trying to dodge these balls that are flying at me, trying to time my spirit vessel so that way, so I can, and I die right there, but because it didn't come up, I try to get that immunity, and it didn't come up in time. So I'm thinking, okay, I got 10 seconds here. I got to sit and wait. I got to get my fetishes back up. Even if I get the Rift Guardian up right now, I don't even know if I have enough time. But my goal right here is just to bring the Rift Guardian up as quick as possible. So overall, this Rift so far, I do bring up the Rift Guardian. I'll talk about overall things at the end. I bring up the Rift Guardian, and I do get the Spider Queen chick got the binder. Now she's pretty good, but I was really worried on this fight because I'm thinking, okay, I have the damage. She's going down pretty quick. I'm starting to build my fetishes back up. I'm trying to stay in range so I can get more damage in on her because of my passive and gems and everything like that. But at the same time, she can one-shot me. So I'm trying to be a little bit safe here. That's why you'll see that I'll use my Q ever so often, just hoping that I use the Q at the same time that she uses her. She has like a couple abilities. She has like a big green ball she shoots out, and then she has that thing which you just saw, which shoots out these little spikes or whatever, and that is pretty devastating. But I am doing a lot of damage now. My fetishes are starting to come back up, and I'm feeling like, oh man, we're going to hit this 1 minute mark soon. If I die at this point, I'm thinking this is a fail for sure, because, I'm going to have to wait, 15, 20 seconds or something, plus I'd have to get my fetishes back up. Even though I do have the Bane of the Stricken going, and you're getting some, really, your damage is getting higher and higher and higher as these fights go longer and longer. I do proc right there, and I'm thinking, oh man, if I die right now, it's over. I don't even know if I'd be able to do this if I die. So I'm just trying to pump out damage as much as I can, trying to hit my Q as much as possible, trying to make sure my focus and restraints are being active. And there we go, guys. Boom, 66. 214 rank, which is pretty cool, and that's pretty much it there. Overall, there were a few things that I did a little bit differently than, looking back, I could probably have shaved off maybe 1 or 2 minutes, just kind of looking at some of the packs. I would have maybe, when I was in the Silver Spire, I maybe would have tried to kill more trash and just kind of deal with the elites a little bit more, and I would have brought up the Rift Guardian faster, but it was high risk, high reward at the same time. So I decided that I'm going to try to, level up my Bane of the Stricken here. It's a 30% chance, because that's just huge, especially when you get to these really high greater rifts. It's definitely the MVP of everything. But I feel good about it. I did a 66. I feel like I made pretty minimal mistakes. I definitely could have done it better, but at the same time, it ended up working out. I had to play. I ended up dying quite a few times because I had the raw gem going. I was literally doing that, like I said, as just a test at the time. But it ended up working out anyway. Silver Spire, one of the best maps, if not the best map. Really good mob types, and we got a Conduit. That's just how it goes. So I didn't have any points into my area damage because that causes you to lag more. I would have been doing more damage, but it causes you to lag more. So like I said, guys, that's pretty much it. I hope you guys learned some things through this. I hope it's pretty educational for you. You learn yourself. Remember, I said send in those clips, hashtag GR breakdown, and I'll look through some of them. Put your battle tag with it. I'll look over your gear and everything, and I'll probably put out a build guide video for this build and spec and everything in the future. I'm still fine-tuning some things. Even though I got a 66 down, I still feel like I could make some improvements here and there and everything like that. But that's pretty much it. Like I said, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you guys learned a few things, and even if you didn't learn anything, hope you just enjoyed watching some Silver Spire action with some conduits. So that's pretty much it for today, guys. My name is Shinobi, and until next time, thanks for watching.